Back-to-back carries. He's
It's
off to
round
the
two,
races
Mike.
again. Can he repeat?
Fumbles it, and Baltimore's going to run this back. You cannot be serious.
He's going to take another deep shot. Diving catch, Mason Kirby. What? The pass deflected away.
Oh!
Hey!
What a catch.
Stepping back, and he's
Down, but it's intercepted. The run for the first down away.
Vincent is on his way. Oh my goodness, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Makes more, and he is to the house. An unreal play.
You're gonna get the look at the
Oh, he got it.
Oh, Baltimore walks it off.
It's week 10 in the Simulation Football League, and we are ready to go here on Next Level Sports alongside Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and Mike couldn't be happier to be here. Season 18, week number 10, lots of big games and matchups on the slate.
No doubt about it, Cam. Lots of big games on the slate, as you mentioned, and we've already gotten this weekend off to a great start with a couple of games under our belts already. Fort Worth and Houston pulling off victories already this morning or this early afternoon and of the weekend. And what better way to continue right here with three of the last three championships have been won by these two teams that we have on this slate right now.
The South continues to roll. We'll have highlights from that action later on today. But for now, it is a doozy of a doubleheader. Denver and Baltimore, as mentioned by Mike, winners of the last three championships. Baltimore's won two of the last three, and each of those franchises lead their division. Charleston, Carolina, the last 5 times those teams have played, that game has been decided by 9 points or less. Later today, Atlanta, St. Louis, Jacksonville, Tulsa, with the East on the line. But Mike, first here in the opening block, can Denver be the one to stop Baltimore, because they've been on a roll?
Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, Baltimore, they've definitely been on a roll, defending champs. Denver won the championship in season 16, but they had a kind of a retool that they had to do last season, replacing a bunch of retiring stars from that championship season. But these guys have bounced back well in their second season. The guys that were rookies and newcomers a year ago, they have bounced back well here in season 18 and lead their division out there in the West. And yeah, they can challenge this Baltimore team here today. But interesting stat that I ran across this week, Cam, that was provided by Hunter Norwood over at Jack's Data. This Baltimore team, they're virtually unbeatable at home since season 15. Cam, they are 25-2 at home, and they are 42-9 overall during that stretch. So Denver, they definitely have their work cut out for them playing Baltimore at home. These guys are virtually unbeatable, but we can see what the Night Wings have for them today.
Baltimore, 8 winning seasons, 8 seasons in the SFL. They are the new dynasty. Move over, Alaska, Florida Storm. It's the Vultures' time now. But Denver's no slouch. They are 4-4. They lead the West. It is a competitive division, and we'll see what happens here today from Sports Gamers Online Arena. Denver, Baltimore coming up next. Stephen Hacker, Tyler Falk on the call when we come back.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
A look at two stunning sights, Baltimore's Inner Harbor and the National Aquarium here in Maryland, as the last two SFL champions are set to wage war with two of the best passing attacks in the league. It's the season 16 champs, Denver Nightwings, taking on the reigning and unbeaten Baltimore Vultures. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Tyler Falk. Welcome to Sports Gamers Online Stadium. Eric Price and Jack Whitmore both have put up some impressive numbers. Both QBs come into today's contest with 20 touchdowns and are 1 and 2, respectively, in completion percentage. An ecstatic Stephen Hacker joins me in the booth. And Hacker, these two clubs have often been involved in games that define seasons. If that trend continues here today, we are in for an absolute treat.
100%, Tyler. Both of these franchises are at the peak, at the very tip top of the SFL in terms of what teams strive to be. And in this game, Baltimore carrying some weight, looking for their 80th franchise win, being their 106th game played. Denver playing their 129th game, looking for their 78th win if they can get out of here with one. Both teams, like you said, Tyler, when this matchup comes up on the schedule, when they play, really helps shape the schedule or helps shape the playoff picture. Baltimore leads this matchup all time. This is their 5th matchup. They have a 3-2 record in this one. The home team typically wins this game, so look for the home team to have an advantage here, maybe. Denver coming in this game 4-4, Baltimore 7-0. Tyler, I'm extremely excited to see if Denver can slow down this very efficient Baltimore offense.
As am I, Hacker. Aerial cover today's game is brought to you by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dags Drone Works or visit their website at dagsdroneworks.com. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Baltimore on the return here to get us going. And it's Giovanni Bolt, the dangerous return man, who gets the ball out the 22-yard line. And on comes Jack Whitmore, the quarterback for Baltimore, to start his first drive of the ball game.
Whitmore, really efficient quarterback for this Baltimore Vultures team, but I think Warren Murray is going to bring some consistency to this offense. They just need to get him involved, and I think they're going to look to do it here on first down.
Look at the stats for Whitmore as he's put up a couple yards away from hitting 2,000 on the season. His first play will be a handoff up the middle for Warren Murray. A new signing out of Houston through the midway part of the season. He's on for a couple of milestones this here and today here, Hacker, and every time he touches the ball, he might surpass somebody.
Yeah, I think we're going to get historical updates here early in the game for Warren Murray, as he's right there close to a bunch of players. So we'll keep you posted on that as some historical updates for Warren Murray coming up.
Already halfway with that 9-yard rush from one of them. This time, Whitmore will out to throw near side. Mac Chima gets his first call of the ball game, and it's a good reception, good enough for a first down.
And just something comfortable there for Baltimore. I think they're just kind of feeling out the Denver defense. Chima is typically their big play receiver, averaging 17.4 yards per reception, good for 10th in the SFL.
Had a big game last week, you see there at the bottom of your screen, as another handoff goes up the middle. This time it's the fullback T. Roy Gaines who picks up 3 yards, and that'll give us an opportunity to introduce you to the rest of the Vulture offense. Whitmore, of course, is the quarterback, with Murray, the tailback, T. Roy Gaines, the fullback. Ivory Irvin, Daley Holder, and Mac Chima are the wideouts. Lloyd Graham Jr., John Michael Sutton, the tight ends. Wide receivers offset eye behind Whitmore here on 2nd and 7. Be a stretch play near side for Murray. Has a long way to run, has a good blocker, and Murray is loose down the sideline. 15-10, 5, touchdown. Just like that, he catapults himself from 8th all-time rushing all the way to 5th.
And a game-changing play early in the ball game for Warren Murray, and that's really all that Baltimore had been missing. I mean, Jack Whitmore is the embodiment of efficiency, and they were stagnant at the running back position. And now here early in the ball game, newly signed Warren Murray takes it to the house for Baltimore, a highlight play for the running back.
He passes Ash Odom for 7. He passes Pete Brewski for 6th and Johnny English for 5th all time. Just like that, he's over 8,000 yards in his career. Congratulations to Mr. Murray, and he ain't done just yet. On to tack home the extra point is Shark Tarkington.
And those are some names in SFL lore. You know, if you go back and watch some of those running backs, those guys are some of the greats. And, you know, Warren Murray, definitely a guy that belongs to be on that list. A huge run for him. Congratulations.
It's an explosive start to the ball game as Baltimore find themselves out in front early, 7-0. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Tarkington puts his boot to the ball, starting his return from his own end zone as Riley Quintero trying to bounce it out near side. He'll get all the way down to the 24 before he's brought down, and on comes second season quarterback Eric Bryce.
Yeah, Denver going to have to come out and I think slow the game down, take control a little bit here. I think Baltimore kind of showed them the recipe. Come out and fill out Baltimore, see if the shot's there. But I wouldn't surprise me to see Bailey O get involved. But nope, they're going to come out in the shotgun, Tyler.
Defensive backs will play bump coverage on the line of scrimmage as Price is back to throw. Looking over the middle, and it's in and out of the arms of Bryce. Battle incomplete. First pass of the day for Eric Price goes turf. We'll introduce you to the rest of the Nightwings offense. Eric Price, of course, the quarterback. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, the tailback, with Ari Mills at fullback. Bryce Battle, Adrian Ellis, Riley Quintero, and Logan Keel make up the wide receiving core with Jeremy Mosley, Brian Murphy at tight end. And leading the men in the trenches from his left guard spot is the rookie left guard, Randy Fatt III. And we'll go in the direction of left guard as O'Shaughnessy does find his way through the middle. Good blocking by that offensive line. Picks up 4.
At a third, reasonable. It's a 3rd and 6, not the greatest opportunity here, but I think this is well within the wheelhouse of what Denver can draw up offensively. I would expect maybe a play-action pass here, Tyler.
See what they do here out of the shotgun. Defensive backs playing tight on the line once again. Twice to throw. Baltimore sent 4. It's over the middle, and it's deflected away. Incomplete pass intended for Ellis, and it's a quick 3-and-out for Denver. Baltimore's defense, one of the best in the league. They're top 10 in all categories, and they were on full display during that short drive.
Yeah, Baltimore showing that they came to this game prepared defensively. Denver tried to catch them off guard on that first down play, and Gio Bolt came over, made a nice hit to deflect that one away. And then from there, it was just a good defensive stand. And, Baltimore's going to get really favorable field position. We'll see if they can pick up where they left off on their first drive.
Matty Wiseman is on to punt it away to Giovanni Bolt, who gets blasted at the 38-yard line. A short return for Giovanni as Baltimore will retake over an offense, and it was that long scamper for Warren Murray that put Denver out in front on their first drive. Official tally by our statisticians in the truck make that Eddie Gage and Justin Rasai. Thank you, gentlemen. It was a 61-yard rush from Warren Murray on that last drive for the touchdown, and so he'll get the call on the backfield on a swing pass. He's only able to muster about 3 yards before he's taken down by Jose Fuentes and Adam Wiseman. And let us introduce you to the rest of that Nightwings defense. Gene Benazzi, Igor Barbatov, Marlon Marshall, and Hugo Reynosa are the defensive linemen. Fuentes, Wiseman, and Juan Mississippi, the linebackers. Ron Hoff, Nick Kindler, Roscoe Santagria are the corners, with Josh Vasquez and Isaiah King, who leads the team in interceptions with 5, are at safety. More looking over the middle, and that was a wide open Daly Holder for a big gain, and they're crossing midfield down to the Denver 46.
And Daly Holder doing exactly what he does for this Baltimore offense. Averages about a first down every time he catches the ball, gets one there, and takes a couple of shots there in the middle. But Jack Wigmore knows that Holder is a valuable receiver there in the middle, and he can take those shots and still come up with a reception.
For 3-3 to begin proceedings here in Baltimore. Pass near side, make it 4 for 4 for the quarterback. His holders found once again on the second straight play, pick up a 7.
And I think if you're Denver, you'll live with that. You'll live with the underneath stuff. You don't want Baltimore to have those game-changing plays like the Warren Murray rush or a big throw over the top. So I think Denver is playing it smart. They were there to make the play. Just don't get beat deep. Don't come down and overcommit to it. You gotta stay true to your assignment.
Goal line set on offense here for the Vultures. They'll go up the middle or try to with Murray, and he's stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. There to greet him was Hugo Reynosa and company.
And I think that's the strength of the Denver defense. You don't want to run up the middle on them. 4 very, very aggressive defensive linemen. They've got a lot of tackles for loss, 6 for Marlon Marshall, 3 for Reynosa, 3 for Benazzi, and 7 for Barbatov. Barbatov also 5th and 12th in sacks with 5 on the season.
Another heavy set. They give it to the big fullback, T-Roy Gaines, and he'll muscle his way forward for a first down.
Yeah, big power, power running there from the veteran T-Roy Gaines. Getting close to 50 carries on the season, averaging 3.2 yards a carry. He's a veteran. He knows how to get those yards, and great first down there for the Vultures.
Leroy, of course, a formal halfback, moving over to fullback a couple seasons ago, and he'll get another call through the middle again, this time only 3 yards, and it's Isaiah King III there on the stop.
It's a big stop for a safety coming up there and making a hit on the fullback. Great effort there in the trenches.
2nd and 7 here for Baltimore. Denver looking to maybe hold them to maybe just a field goal. Linebacker show blitz near side up the middle, and they'll run with T-Roy again. He breaks out of it, picks up 4 yards. And something we've come to grown accustomed to in Baltimore here, Hacker, is they love to get their fullback involved early and often.
Yeah, a little thunder and lightning. Baltimore definitely, likes to mix it up, and I have to applaud it. It keeps your running back fresh throughout the course of the game, and T-Roy is a valuable weapon, and whether it's on the ground or through the air. So credit to Baltimore for getting all their weapons involved.
Single back set, 3 wide receivers off to the right. Wigmore with a 2-strap drop, looking for an out route. Near side, caught by Mac Chima, and it's another Baltimore first down.
And Baltimore again, methodically moving down the field, not being ultra aggressive, just taking what the defense has given them. And credit Wigmore, playing pretty clean here early in this game.
Nice long drive here for the Vultures. This is their 8th play of the drive. Out route, far side, caught again by Chima. They flip the formation, run the same thing. It results in 6 yards.
And honestly, I feel like Denver's defense is just trying to build a little confidence here. They're in position to make plays, Tyler. Just haven't quite done it yet, and I wonder if they're just kind of waiting to strike, trying to really get a good read on Wigmore here. But now they're inside the SFL red zone, Tyler. They really got to clamp down.
I formation here for Jack Whitmore. We hand off up the middle for Murray, and Murray is only able to get 2 as he's being tackled by the linebacker Jose Fuentes and corner Nick Kinlan.
Very tough 3rd and 2 here, but Baltimore likes to grind it out. I expect that this is a favorable situation for them. Denver's front 7 really needs to step up here and make a play.
3rd and short. Let's see what the Vultures offense dials up. Pass near side toward the corner, and it's Chima with the reception 3 yards shy of the goal line as he steps out of bounds.
Denver looking brave. They sent the blitz. Wigmore, though, the offensive line for Baltimore picked it up, and Wigmore had time to find Chima there in the right sideline. Great throw and catch by the Vulture.
First and goal now here for Baltimore, looking to punch this one in. Handoff up the middle, T-Roy Gaines, and he stopped a yard shy. And something we have grown accustomed to again is some hard-nosed running for T-Roy, but also some stout defensive play from Adam Wiseman.
Yeah, it's about as sure tackler as you can get. 73 tackles on the season, good for 6th in the SFL. They don't get much better in terms of linebacker than Adam Wiseman.
Goal line versus goal line again. Another run up the middle for Murray, and he'll cross the plane. It's another touchdown for Warren Murray, 2 in the first quarter.
And Baltimore really coming out and taking control of this ball game early. Comes in at home, wants to establish their dominance as they've been all season long, and they've just willed their way down the field on both drives, Tyler, and capped it off. Warren Murray 2 touchdowns in the ball game.
It takes a village to stop Baltimore. They have yet to be stopped in any football game since week 12 of last season against London, and they just continue to assert their dominance over any opposing opposition, and now they're leading by 13. Tarkington on the field to try and make it 14. High snap is corralled by Adam Jefferson. The kick is up and good from Tarkington. 14-0 your score as we approach the end of the first quarter.
And it's really hard to say they're not a class above right now, Tyler. I mean, you look at the rest of the SFL, and it's pretty tight. Week to week, it almost feels like a coin flip. But a lot of times your eyes kind of stop at this Denver matchup, and you're just like, well, nope. It just you're wondering when some team is gonna kind of take that away from them. I thought Queen City, when they played Baltimore in that Monday night game, really gave Baltimore a scare there for a second. But again, in the end, they triumph and they just do what Baltimore does, and they really are. They're a treat to watch. They really have it figured out right now. They've really got it going for them. But if anybody can do it, I think Denver is one of the teams in the league that can put out a solid enough game plan that's, like you said, a village kind of game plan. And I think Denver has the right pieces to give Baltimore a scare as well.
Taro took the return up to the 25, and that is where Denver start off this drive. 9 men in the box here for Baltimore against the goal line set. O'Shaughnessy goes near side. O'Shaughnessy had a nice lane to run through the offensive line, created a gaping hole, and he's able to find his way to the 39-yard line.
And I was reading, a comment from Coach Adam Wiseman. He says, really got to get Baltimore to make some mistakes. If they play clean football, they're practically unbeatable. So, it's direct comment from their head coach on the effort that it takes to bring down this Baltimore team.
Wiseman also in the news here this past week there's rumors of him starting up his own club as expansion grows on the horizon. 1st and 10 now for Denver from their own 39. Baltimore send the blitz, and they get home and take down Eric Price in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Sir Ron Yates, the 4th, with the sack.
Yeah, one of the captains, one of the leaders on this defense comes up, makes a nice play right when the Vultures needed it. Kind of took away some of that momentum that Denver was gaining there.
After the loss of 4, Denver come out in a shotgun formation, trips to Eric Price's right. He'll throw, looking for a deep ball, far side, that is caught. Great pitch and catch. Logan Keel is on the receiving end. He's inside Baltimore territory.
Yeah, and there's Denver's big play wide receiver, averaging 19.6 yards a catch on the season. Good for 4th in the SFL, 3rd in the SFL in receiving touchdowns with 8 on the season. So Baltimore definitely needs to keep their eye on this number 2 option from Denver, because he's the one that's going to take the top off.
Excellent route running from Logan Keel as he broke away from team lead in interceptions. Ben Stackenpaper on that corner route. Denver flip the formation. They go trips now toward the near side. It'll be an all slants pattern. Floater over the middle is caught by Jeremy Mosley for a gain of about 9.5. They'll rule it. And let's introduce you to the rest of the Vultures defense. Wanted to combine Vulture and Baltimore for a second. Nate Brown, Joe Duncan, Al Rocker, and Sir Ron Yates, the 4th, are the defensive linemen. Frank Smith, Dalvin Mack, Devin King, the linebackers. Enzo Bolt, Marvin Himes, Ben Stackenpaper, and Elijah Warfield, the corners, with Troy Loshot and Giovanni Bolt at safety as Baltimore send the blitz, and they get home, this time for a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, as it's Ben Stackenpaper making up for the big reception with a tackle behind the line.
Now, that'll be his 3rd tackle for loss on the season. And for a defensive back, that's very impressive. You love to see that your corner is willing to step up, come up, make a play, hit the offense in the backfield. Great play by the Vulture.
The Wake, as they're called on defense here in Baltimore, has been very aggressive today. Eric Price now on 3rd down, looking over the middle. That is caught by Mosley. That is 2 clutch receptions by the tight end. It puts them into the red zone.
Baltimore trying to apply the pressure on Price, but standing tall in the pocket. You love to see it. This Denver leader is stepping up, making plays for his offense, and a big throw there as the pressure was coming.
Eric Price now 3 for 5 on receptions here today so far as we approach the end of the first quarter. Handoff near side, O'Shaughnessy blockers in front of him, and he's through the 10, the 5, and he's home into the end zone, and Denver on the board.
Bailey O, left side, makes 2 nice juke moves, frees up all the space, and it's nothing but daylight for him. Caught Baltimore in man coverage, and they were moving down the field. Everybody was paying attention to the responsibility you see there, and it gave Bailey O free roam for like 5 yards before anybody got their head around and realized that it was a run play. Great job by Denver to punch back and get back into this ball game.
I love that analysis there, Hacker. They were expecting pass. They didn't turn around until it was too late. O'Shaughnessy finds the end zone, and Baltimore now looking at only an 8-point lead. On comes Matt Fennick to try and put Denver within 7.
And again, Denver is the kind of team like that. They will punch back like that, and it's a great effort to see their offense respond there. Eric Price, I thought, had a big key, had a big part of that drive. You know, him staying consistent, staying true in the pocket really helped Denver gain some first downs. He had to make some tough throws to get down the field, and that's what they're going to need from their quarterback this entire game.
We're going to need them to play nearly perfect, because that's pretty much the only way you can beat Baltimore. It takes a village, it takes perfection, and so far Denver bounced right back, and they're within a touchdown score with 10 seconds left to go here in the first quarter as Fennick gets us going once again. Giovanni Bolt on the return from his own goal line, trying to go near side, trying to spin out of a tackle, can't, taken down at the 23-yard line. On comes Baltimore to start a drive here at the end of the first quarter.
I think Baltimore is going to go right back to what they've been doing all game long, Tyler. I don't think that they're ready to take the shot yet. I think they're going to continue to see what the defense gives them. You know, if a big play is there, they'll take the shot downfield, but I think they're going to keep getting Warren Murray and T-Roy Gaines involved.
And it looks like a run formation, a heavy set, 3 halfbacks in the backfield. No hand off to Murray left side, trying to get around his blocker, spinning up the field, and finally taken down after a gain of 4 to the 27-yard line. That takes us to the end of the first quarter. It is 14-7. Baltimore with the lead and the ball. We'll be right back here for the second quarter. You're watching the Next Level Sports here with the presentation of the SFL. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Gamers Online Stadium. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Stephen Hacker in the booth, Justin Raside, Eddie Gage in the stats truck, and producing our game as he does every single SFL contest is the Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Lauren Murray on the first call from scrimmage here in the second quarter, only get about 1 yard. He's taken down by Josh Vasquez.
Yeah, and going to continue to go to the well here. 11 total rushes in the game for the Vultures, just kind of going with the 50-50 balance between the pass and the run.
Big more to throw on third down, looking for it all far side into the basket, and he is gone. Mac Chima down the sideline. It's a huge reception, and Baltimore respond to Denver's touchdown with a score of their own.
And Baltimore caught him staying down, and finally got the defense to commit, and Mac Chima took the top off, 73 yards, and Wigmore an absolute dime right where it needed to be, the defender nowhere in sight, and Chima just able to take it to the house.
It was a beautiful arcing pass right into the hands of Chima, and if you get behind a defender and have that much room to run, there is absolutely no stopping you. And that's the explosiveness that Baltimore provides week in, week out. 5 receptions on the day, already right around 100 yards, courtesy of the guys in the stats truck, Justin Side and Eddie Gage. Thank you, gentlemen. On comes Tarkin to tack home the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is through and good. Baltimore re-extend the lead back out to 14 points. Have you checked out video content produced by our community lately? Catch the Sim Pod every week. SFL Crunch Time and Road to Glory every Wednesday night. SFL Nights with AJ Stryker premieres Thursdays, Say It With Your Chest airs Fridays, and NETMA can be seen all week long at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every week, the live show schedule can be accessed through our Discord server at the top of the channel listing. Just look for the Events tab.
And it's a great variety of content that we have too, Tyler. All kind of have their own approach to it. It's fantastic. I'd love to check out all the varying content that we have. Great stuff that we have within our community.
Absolutely. Quintero gets hit hard at the 24-yard line. That stops the return. On comes Denver to start another drive. It was a nice run from O'Shaughnessy, which put them on the board. Now they're going to have to try and duplicate that drive, Hacker.
Yeah, definitely going to have to duplicate it, but I think, Eric Price is up to the task. He looks confident in this ballgame.
Oh, and a shotgun set, a formation that was working for him at the end of that first quarter. It's a drag route over the middle, caught by Bryce Battle through a pickup of 8. He's taken down at the 32-yard line by Frank Smith.
And it seems like when Denver does want to throw the ball through the air, they're going to try to attack Baltimore across the middle. We'll see if Baltimore makes any adjustments to that as the game goes on, but it seems that that's the preferred course of attack for the Nightwings right now, is throw the ball through the middle.
Short yardage situation, and out comes the goal line package here for Denver. 2nd and 2 from the 32. Baltimore piling in almost everybody into the box. It's a handoff for O'Shaughnessy, far side, has a couple of blockers, and there he goes again. Very patient running indeed, and O'Shaughnessy up to the races. He's got one man to beat, and he's finally tackled at the 23-yard line. Hacker, take us through the mindset of a patient runner that is Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
It takes a lot. He was waiting for the fullback, Ari Mills, to get out there and make a play for him. Mills adjusts, and Bailey O just doing the work, waiting, and then using that speed burst when he finally saw the gap, gets down the left sideline in a huge play for the Nightwing.
It's only his second season in the league, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, but he has been the spark plug for this Denver offense time and time again. Bunch set to the far side. Baltimore again trying to play very aggressive with their cornerbacks, and it's a swing pass for O'Shaughnessy. He picks up the first down, but not before paying the price at the 11-yard line. Giovanni Bolt coming up and laying the lumber.
Yeah, and quietly Logan Keel making a nice block there, and I think it just speaks to the belief that the Nightwings have in their running back Bailey O. Player makes a block like that, knowing that it's going to let Bailey O have a potential to make a highlight play, but Giovanni Bolt, a veteran in the league, one of the best safeties probably ever in the league, very familiar with taking down star players and put it on full display there.
45 run on the play earlier, and then an 11-yard swing pass for O'Shaughnessy, thanks to Eddie Gage providing those stats. Another swing pass for O'Shaughnessy. He's going to tack on a few more. Make that 3 down to the 8-yard line. Mack there to greet him and take him down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Denver might change their attack here from the 8-yard line, attacking the middle of the field. This might be prime opportunity for what their offense wants to do. If Mosley stays on the sideline, though, that's very interesting. A big body tight end off the field in this situation kind
of reminds me of a dog's purpose. Bailey in the last 3 plays. Price pumps one, looking for the end zone. Incomplete. Might have been a little pass interference. No flag.
And it was there. I mean, they dialed it up, got the 3 wide receivers set there. Logan Kill attacked the middle of the field, but good defense came in late from the Vultures as Price and Kill couldn't connect, and now it's 3rd and 7. Denver needs to be very selective here. Price going to have to make a really good throw.
Price in the gun, trips to his left. O'Shaughnessy sidecar left as well. 2 dime package. Price looking to the end zone, and it's knocked aside. He's lucky that wasn't picked up by Enzo Bolt, and Denver have to settle for a field goal.
And a good stand by the Vultures. I thought Denver was in prime territory. That was perfect field position if you want to attack with slants or just attack the middle of the field in general. That's right where you want to be. So good job on Baltimore stepping up, making a play. Denver, I think, has to be feeling like that's a bit of a missed opportunity, but they're going to come out and try to take the 3-point.
Matt Fennick comes on to try and hit this 25-yarder from the right hash. He is 15-16 on the season, 69-75 on his career. Make that field goal number 70 for Matt Fennick. 25-yard field goal is up and good, and that lead is cut into a little bit, only down by 11.
And still plenty of time in the ball game, Tyler. I mean, 8 minutes to go in just the second quarter, so Denver doing exactly what they need to do, keeping themselves, giving themselves a puncher's chance to stay in this ball game, and just hoping that they can eventually get Jack Wigmore to create some kind of mistake, or even have Warren Murray or T-Roy Gaines put the ball on the ground. I saw earlier that on the season, T-Roy does have a fumble. So, Denver just needs to be patient and really needs to let their defense make a play somewhere, or even on the special teams. If Riley Quintero can get some kind of kick return for the Nightwings, that would be a huge swing for the Nightwings on the road.
And Giovanni Bolt nearly had one busted open for a big return. He does get taken down at the 25-yard line with exactly 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Wigmore retakes the field with the offense, trying to continue this momentum. Baltimore has scored on every single possession. Pass near side. It is caught by the 3rd-string tight end, Tyrone Means.
Yeah, a little bit of deception, trying to fool Denver into think and run, and a quick swing pass out to the tight end, just trying to get what they can. 3-yard gain's not bad there on first.
Empty backfield here on second down here for Wigmore. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Dime formation to counter from Denver. Moore looking for an all-slant pattern over the middle. Caught. First down for Baltimore. One thing I've noticed that's different here, Hacker, is Denver's defensive backs seem to be playing a lot more off the line than Baltimore's, and clearly the game plan is to beat that defense in their soft underbelly, if you will.
Yeah, Denver choosing to attack primarily with zone coverages, and Baltimore on the flip side on defense choosing to attack primarily with man coverages on defense, and you can kind of see the difference, like you alluded to. On those middle routes, the receivers are able to get into the zone a little more freely. There's not as much, it's not as muddy in the water, so to speak.
Pass outside, caught to a receiver who's falling down. That's Daly Holder for another reception. Pick up a 4.
Now 2nd and 6. I think again, this is prime territory. Great opportunity to use either one of your running backs, T-Roy Gaines or Warren Murray, to set yourself up for a manageable 3rd down.
11 straight completion for Jack Wigmore. 11-11 on the day so far. Really impressive. And as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks. Make that 12 for 12 over the middle down to Denver's 38-yard line. And Mac Chima's been a hot commodity and a hot target for Wigmore all day today, over 100 yards.
Yeah, really, the primary weapon through the air for the Vultures is Ivory Irving, but Mac Chima just makes all of the spectacular plays, all of the highlight plays. He's usually the guy you remember, but it's Jack Wigmore's feast here, as he's got so many weapons to throw to, like Ivory Irvin, Daly Holder, Mac Chima, just all these targets that he has. It's just easy pickings for him.
Denver expecting a deep pass. Instead, it's going to be oh, that's a huge hit. It was an out route to the far side for Holder, but what a hit by Nick Kindler.
Yeah, I think Denver's getting a little tired of this. Again, you know, they are a team that likes to fight back, and probably here's the announcers a little too much saying, you know what, we're going to fight our way back into this. Nick Kindler makes a big play there on the outside.
Sixth play of the drive here for Baltimore as steady stream of efficient play continues. It's another first down. Murray on the ground, picking up the first.
Getting closer to the SFL red zone in scoring field position for the Vultures, but you know, I think now this is a good opportunity for Denver to kind of bend but don't break, clamp down, and use the back of the end zone to kind of be that 12th defender on the field for him, Tyler. And I think Denver, if they can generate a turnover here, they can get the swing of the game in their favor.
Wigmore, dangerous throw, but it is hauled in by Chima.
Tough reception. The defender was there in tight coverage on the receiver, but Chima able to bring that one in and continue this consecutive streak for Wigmore.
Rosca Santagria nearly came around with that interception. Instead, Baltimore retained possession. Heavy set, split backfield behind Wigmore. Defenders showing blitz, and indeed they'll go. Hand off in the middle for T-Roy, and he's blasted at the 21-yard line by Kindler. Two heavy hits by Kindler on the drive.
And that's exactly what you wanted. You need your defense to get that spark, to feel that energy. Now here on a 3rd and 3, if Denver can make a stand, that would be huge for their defense.
Baltimore now spread the field with 3 wide receivers. Wigmore to throw, 5-step drop, they hit the underneath route again. Ivory Irvin picks up the first down to the 15.
And these plays, you know, that was I believe it looked like that was Wigmore's 3rd option on that play, and it was Irvin coming across the middle late. So Wigmore just reading through his progressions, taking his time, and finds Irvin there short of the first down marker, but he fights his way to get the first down, and that's key to these Baltimore drives. They just keep finding ways to get first down.
Or to throw again, looking over the middle once again. Daly Holder with the reception, pick up a 9 down to about the 5-yard line, and Baltimore creeping ever closer to the end zone.
Yeah, and this is really dangerous for Denver because 1 yard for the Vultures, and they get 3 more opportunities to get that end zone, get into the end zone, and that's a tough task for a defense that's been on the field as long as Denver's had.
The handoff, T-Roy Gaines through the middle, bulldozing defenders and fighting his way to the 2-yard line, and he's finally wrapped up by Reynosa, and Baltimore just 2 yards out from making it 4 straight drives to begin the ball game with a score.
I don't know why, Tyler, but I just had a picture of Jerome Bettis fumbling on the goal line pop into my head. I don't know why, but that just popped into my head. I'm jinxing it. I'm jinxing it.
And Murray gets it in. No fumbles this time. And Murray has a hat trick of touchdowns here in the first half. It's officially 4 drives with a touchdown, and Baltimore is soaring away with this one.
I guess we just confirmed I'm not psychic at all, so that's good to know. That's one thing I can check off in my book.
You can't be Ramos Lynn. You can't be that perfect.
Not all of us are that great, right? He's just, you know, he's a voodoo, or not voodoo. He's just great at reading the game. He's got so much experience, and yeah, I definitely I wasn't right there, but I've had a couple of good ones in my day, Tyler.
I think we've been on a call before where you made one. I think it was last season when we were calling the Florida ball game in the playoffs where you had a very nice call. As Tarkington gets that one up and through. It's an 18-point lead here for Baltimore. Coming up on the 8 p.m. Music Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green have the top 10 plays from an exciting Week 9, plus update you on the action going on in North Carolina between the Charleston Predators and the Carolina Skyhawks, part of our bonus coverage here today on Next Level Sports. It's all coming up on the 8 p.m. Music Halftime Report. Charleston currently lead that game going over on SFL Twitch 7-0, close to the end of that first quarter as Quintero is on the return, making a couple of nice moves, and it's fumbled, and Baltimore recover, and they're right back near the red zone of Denver as we shoot you off for the first time today to SFL headquarters for a game break from Carolina.
Thank you, Tyler. 1 drive, 1 touchdown for Charleston in the Carolina rivalry.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Cam. Kentez Johnson right here finds Kenny McCarroll. He does sneak across the goal line, and as you mentioned, the first drive of the game, Charleston's up 7-0.
Bad to worst from Denver, trying to stop the bleeding. Back to Tyler and Steven in Baltimore.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. Everything going well here so far for Baltimore, Hacker.
Yeah, Baltimore just feeling like they're in control of this game, and Denver really needed an opportunity, some kind of swing, and there was a special teams play, but it happened to go to Baltimore.
Murray gets a call on their side. He'll pick up about 9.5 before being clattered to the ground at the 15-yard line, and Murray has been on fire today.
Absolutely, came out the gate, and it looked like Baltimore wanted their game plan to be featured around Warren Murray today, and he's toting the rock, getting the main, getting the lion's share in the offense, and he's definitely delivering. 90
yards officially there for Warren Murray as he's back in the backfield alongside T-Roy Gaines in a split back formation. Handoff through the middle. T-Roy Gaines, the fullback, trying to get into the end zone. He gets a gain of 10 to the 5-yard line into their right pack in 1st and goal territory.
Mr. Shadow Realm himself wants to make sure you don't forget about him. Says, hey, I'm in the backfield. I'm an SFL great too, and look what I can do. And T-Roy Gaines just keeping the chains moving for the Vulture.
The run game that has been phenomenal here in this drive as we reach the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. You're watching the SFL here on Next Level Sports Thunder Night 8 p.m. Music. We'll be right back. Back to Baltimore. Denver trying to stop Baltimore for the first time today. It's a swing pass outside Warren Murray. Touchdown number 4. This one is receiving touchdown. And Baltimore continue to spread their lead.
And it's efficient, it's effective, and it's leading to points. And it's just tough to stop this Baltimore team. They just keep building, and each season they get better and better, it feels like. And it's just they're a tough task. It's Denver right now, 4-4 team, again showing you that they're right in the middle of things, but they're just going up against what everybody has been going against, and it's a very impressive Baltimore team. They do have the entire. They got 2 minutes still remaining here in the second quarter, Tyler. So they've got the 2 minutes. They've got the halftime break to really get together in the locker room and figure out how what's the best plan of attack. And from what I've seen, they got to figure out a way to stop the underneath. They either got to apply the pressure to Wigmore so that he doesn't have time to get to that second and third progression, or they got to find a way to generate some turnovers. That's the two things that I'm seeing.
They gotta do that in a hurry because Wigmore today has been perfect. That last pass makes it 17 for 17 for Jack. 2 touchdowns in the ball game, working on a perfect passer rating. Kickoff here once again from Shark Tarkington. Quintero about 2 yards deep in his own end zone starts his return, playing about to the far side, breaks out of a tackle, and then it is finally wrapped up at the 26-yard line. Denver need a score, need one in a hurry as things start to get out of hand.
And there's still time. They have the timeouts, Tyler. They have 3 timeouts. They have 2 minutes, so they don't necessarily have to go for broke on one play, but they definitely need to find their shot or take their shot somewhere on this drive.
Offset single back behind Eric Price. They're going to hand off for O'Shaughnessy, far side, out of a tackle, maybe no. Only a gain of 9 down to the 36-yard line. The clock continues to run.
Yeah, I think they want to huddle maybe, Tyler, to get in a little bit better formation. Maybe we'll see the no huddle on the next set coming out as they break huddle here.
A minute and a half to go and counting here as we're closing in on the end of the first half. Goal line set, definitely not a passing formation, you would think. And they will hand off to O'Shaughnessy through the middle. He'll pick up the first down, and they're going to hustle back to the line of scrimmage in this same goal line set.
Maybe a screen, Tyler, but it's going to be really tough to get that big play out of this formation.
Hand off left side, O'Shaughnessy trying to break a long one. He'll pick up another first down close to midfield.
I wonder if Denver might go with the timeout, Tyler. I mean, they've got 3. They could burn one and get into a different formation.
Passing play here. O'Shaughnessy gets the call, trying to make it 3 first downs in a row. Can't. Pick up a 9, though, on the swing pass. 40 seconds to go.
Denver has to be a little gassed. Got the timeout, Tyler.
Another screen play. This time it develops a little bit as Price will fire to the left sideline, out of bounds, and I think that was probably the best of that situation as Baltimore read the screen play rather well.
Yeah, smartest play by Eric Price there was just to get rid of the ball, and he did just that. So, Denver now with the chance to fight. It's a 3rd and 1, very manageable here. You still got 32 seconds and all 3 timeouts, Tyler. Denver should definitely turn up the heat here.
You probably can't run it in this situation, though, right, Hacker?
Bailey-O is really explosive, Tyler. I mean, they could, but I'd like to see it go in the air.
We'll go for a pass to the left side. That is caught. Logan Keel down the sideline, and he gets out of bounds. 26 ticks left to go on the clock, and it's a new set of downs here for Denver.
Yeah, and that was a veteran play. Got the ball, saw the green field in front of him, but definitely started running towards that white line to get out of bounds and stop the clock, save all those timeouts if you can.
Rumors going on from the SFL faithful from the stands. Why that pass out of bounds wasn't intentional grounding, because it was a screen play. The line shifts out, and therefore the pocket does not account for anything. Pass near side for a first down. It is caught by Jeremy Mosley down to the 14-yard line. 21 seconds left to go as Denver call their first timeout.
And a great job. I think it's that's why they wanted to get out of bounds and keep those timeouts in their pocket. But good job there. But Denver really needs to get aggressive here, try to take some shots and get in the end zone right before the half.
4 wide receivers set. Bump coverage from the defensive backs for Baltimore. Price to throw. Over the middle, caught, touchdown! There for Riley Quintero. Late hit on the play. That'll tack on yards for the kickoff, but Riley Quintero gets Denver back on the board.
And the defender was draped all over Quintero there as he was making that reception. I'm not surprised to see the late hit come in, because that defender was relentless in trying to keep Quintero out of the end zone, but Denver would not be denied there, and points right here before the half.
That's the undrafted rookie Elijah Warfield that gets slapped with the infraction, and Denver on the board again, 35-16. Fennec on the field now to try and make it a 35-17 scoreline. Very nice drive for Denver that started off with a couple of questionable formations in that goal line set, but eventually there for Denver, they march all the way down the field on that 8-play, 73-yard drive, all culminating with that Riley Quintero passing a touchdown, and the extra point is up and good. And it is 35-17 with 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Tyler looking around, listening to the reaction from the black and blue section of the crowd. They wanted an ejection after that late hit. Very, very upset with the play on the field after that one. But I think Denver's happy to get the 7 points, closes the gap here in this ball game. 17 seconds to go, Tyler. Do you happen to know who gets the ball here to start the second half?
I believe it's the home team that gets the ball.
Trying to get over to that.
I believe to kick off. There we go. They get the ball to kick off to begin the second half. There we go. There is what we're looking for. Bolt on the return down to the 24-yard line. 13 seconds to go. We've seen plenty of last-second late runs for scores in the last few seasons by a whole bunch of running backs. And now on comes the offense, probably looking at a couple of run plays. Murray will probably get a heavy dose to end out this first half. Might he break one off for a big scale? 5 touchdowns all day. No, Wigmore back to throw, looking over the middle, caught by Ivory Irvin. It's a first down. They're going to try and hurry back to the line of scrimmage and finally call a timeout with 3 seconds to go. And so, judging how Baltimore called that first play, Hacker, they're probably just going to try and heave-ho it maybe for a late score.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They've got some really valuable weapons there on the outside. They could attack with Chima or Ivory Irving here and get in the end zone, but more than likely, I expect Denver to be able to apply a little bit of pressure here, probably end up with the sack to close out the half. It just takes so long for a Hail Mary play to develop, Tyler. You know, it's just hard to keep the defenders from getting into the pocket, and I think that Wigmore is going to be up against it, looking at his first incompletion here, Tyler.
We'll have to see, does he keep the perfect passer running alive, and he's under pressure, out of attack from Kindler, and he's finally taken down behind the line of scrimmage, so he keeps the perfect completion percentage here today, but he does get wrapped up, thrown to the turf, and that will do it here in the first half from Sports Gamers Online Stadium. We shoot you back to the SFL headquarters for halftime report after these messages. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music live here on Next Level Sports.
Welcome back to SFL Studios for the APM Music Halftime Report. Alongside Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. Baltimore without an incompletion in the first half, 335 yards of total offense. Mike, I think we're done with them. We'll see them in the playoffs. I think we need to see some other teams at this point. They are just rolling.
Yeah, Cam, we definitely knew that we would see them in the playoffs probably way back in week one. But, they are who we thought they were. And the famous words of Coach Dennis Green. And forget the playoffs, man. We'll see these guys more than likely in the championship game. I'm sorry to the rest of the league, but I don't see it any other way at this point, Cam.
Now, Denver does get the ball to start the second half, so that's can offer them a bit of relief. But this defense is really struggling. I mean, they just have not been able to figure out much of anything on this Baltimore offense. And Mike, how do you? I mean, what do you do with this team?
Well, Warren Murray, as we know, he came out of, they talked him out of retirement last week to replace Jimmy Hazard, who had done a great job in the first season and a half over there in Baltimore. But to be honest with you, Cam, I think he's added a different element to this team that Hazard didn't have. We saw him with the big 60-yard touchdown run. He has that home run capability. He has 4 touchdowns on the day, 1 through the air, and add in the one last week. In 2 weeks, he's made a huge difference with his team. 5 touchdowns. They've been able to be a more balanced attack, which in turn has turned the passing game to where it's almost unstoppable. Where these guys were already super effective anyway, and as we saw the result of that, Wigmore is 18-18 or 19 out of 19 in the half. So these guys, Denver, their work is cut out for them, and whomever plays these guys, their work is cut out for them. I did see some flashes from Denver that, hey, they can move the ball, they can make plays, but man, this team is just a juggernaut.
It's possible that all teams in the West by the end of this week could be under 500. Denver was leading the division coming in. They could drop to 4-5. Sioux Falls plays 4-4 London tomorrow. Sioux Falls is 4-4, so you've got that going as well. All right, let's educate the audience on the playoff picture coming into week number 10 as we pull up our standings heading into the week. And for those that don't know the SFL playoff format, we're in one bracket. We do not have conferences, so the top 4 teams receive a bye. There are 6 divisions. 6 division winners automatically clinch a playoff spot. They just don't necessarily clinch a home game like in the NFL. So there's a look at that. We're going to keep that up on the screen. And it really shows, we always have the jumble at 6-6 at the bottom, but it shows the parity except for Baltimore at the top. You're watching the Vultures right now. They are unbeaten and on their way to another opportunity for home field advantage. They will not play Vancouver this regular season. May see them in the playoffs. Let's talk about the top of the bracket. Mike, you're focused on maybe Louisiana, who has a big game against Florida next week or tomorrow.
Yeah, big game coming up this weekend for both squads. As you mentioned, Louisiana, they've been on a hot streak as of late. They've won, I think, 4 games in a row to get to the 6-2 mark that they're at right now. I think if they win this game against Florida, who we see right there at 4-3, they're competing for an Atlantic Division championship over there. Jacksonville is their main competition over there right now, as well as Charleston. Charleston's ahead in their game right now. But Louisiana, Cam, that defense has been playing great all season long. The offense has struggled. I will acknowledge that. And then, of course, our man Otis Boudreaux, he can possibly break their field goal record this weekend if he kicks 5 or 6 field goals this weekend. But the offense needs work, but their defense is playing at a championship level. And if they can slow down Florida tomorrow, get that victory and get to 7-2, they'll pretty much solidify their playoff position spot anyway. And they're just going to be a tough out when you get to the playoffs. I mean, defense wins championships sometimes.
You can see Denver there in that 10 spot. If Denver were to lose the football game, they would fall outside the playoff picture. That would benefit teams like London and Mexico City. Both of those teams play tomorrow on the SFL YouTube channel. But for what we have coming up next on NXT, Jacksonville, the 7 seed, playing Tulsa, the 5 seed. In bonus coverage, you'll see Atlanta. Most of the country will see Atlanta take on St. Louis. They are Atlanta's in the 8 spot right now, and St. Louis is in a bit of free fall. Swarm trying to take care of business and shoot for that first round bye that's still in position. If they win, they're only 1 game back of the Revolution.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Cam. Those teams that's right there, 5-3, 4-4. These are huge matchups this weekend, and this weekend, Cam, also is the first weekend in a good while that we've seen all 24 SFL teams in action. Big weekend, big slate of games. Win here, loss there is going to make a huge difference in your playoff standing. So yeah, if they can get that win, Lone Star possibly losing this weekend, and Florida be right there in the mix of things for us that first week bye. And one team I do want to mention, Cam, and be remiss if I did not. Vancouver right there at the top. If any other team than Baltimore, in my opinion, that has total package. The offense is solid. They can make big plays, and that defense have really stepped it up this season. That's why you see those guys at 7-1. If anyone can compete with Baltimore right now, I would put Vancouver right in the mix with them.
Charleston at 4-4 in that 4-4 bunch. You saw him on the inside looking in. I don't even know how you say that backwards, Mike. But Charleston in the top 12. They are at Carolina today. They're rivals. And Charleston in control, 14-0 early. They have really kind of been slumping, have lost 2 in a row. But Carolina seems to be the get-right game, as Charleston just got a pick in the red zone, so the shutout is still being preserved there.
Yeah, Charleston, they've actually looked great today. I thought the past couple of weeks they'd kind of gotten away from their identity. I think they'd kind of, start passing the ball a little bit too much for what they like to do. And they've gotten back to keep Swearingen and running the ball a little bit today. And we've seen a good results from that. Swearingen does have a touchdown on the ground, and they've seemed to control the ball most of this first half. And I think they're getting back to what we are accustomed to seeing from the for the Charleston Predators.
Updates will continue on that game throughout the day. Right now, Denver trails Baltimore 35-17. They do get the ball to start the second half, but they got to stop Baltimore eventually. Baltimore, no punts, no turnovers, 5 touchdowns, 5 possessions. Denver's got to get it going. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. The Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues after these messages.
Welcome back to Sports Gamers Online Stadium here in Baltimore. Check out sportsgamersonline.com or check them out on YouTube and see why millions visit their website and YouTube channel. Kicks on the way from Shark Tarkington on to Riley Quintero, who tries to make a return, makes a man miss at the 20, is taken down at the 25-yard line. Sports Gamers Online, I used to watch a whole lot of their videos back in the day and always would remember the phrase Sports Gamers Online is the official source for the Sports Gamer. I wonder if they still got that going. I've tried to check out a couple of their later videos, but haven't heard that phrase.
First and 10 from 25 yards.
Denver with the ball here to begin the second half. Price in the gun, back to throw. It's a swing pass out for O'Shaughnessy out of the backfield. Makes one man miss, spins out of a tackle, and is taken down at the 9-yard line as Denver tries to get back into this one, Hacker.
Yeah, and I think that that's the exact recipe that they need to use. Let Bailey O get their offense going because they were able to find some success over the middle. But Bailey O is really going to be the cog that's going to help this offense grind up this Vultures defense. So I like it attacking with O'Shaughnessy early to start the second half.
Hand up the middle for O'Shaughnessy with a couple of blockers as he nearly broke it open. But Giovanni Bolt says no, sir.
That was Hall of Fame level open field tackling right there. Gio Bolt, I mean, he didn't wrap up. He shouldered him. That's how confident he was in his ability to make that tackle. Look at that. Didn't wrap him up. Just, I'm going to tackle you. I'm going to take you down. No problems. Huge play by the safety.
That's the difference between having 2 seasons in the league like O'Shaughnessy and 9 with Giovanni Bolt, the veteran, showing off his hard-hitting prowess as O'Shaughnessy tried to break something up on the far side, but the defense just got in the backfield a little bit too quickly as Nate Brown brings him down.
And O'Shaughnessy really is, I mean, he's something special, but it's just, you know, when you see that kind of open field tackling, it's something, it's different because you normally expect O'Shaughnessy to break those kinds of open field tackles.
Price looking to throw. It's an out route caught near side for Ari Mills, the fullback, playing on the line. He picks up 7 yards.
Yeah, Ari Mills had a pretty quiet game. Denver, really one of the teams that features the fullback the best, in my opinion, through the passing game. They get really creative in how they use their fullback, and just a matter of time before Ari Mills gets a couple of receptions.
Time we called his name today here in the second half. Maybe we'll see more of that. Blitz coming. Pass over the middle is tipped and incomplete. Pass intended for Keel, and it's a great deflection for Marvin Himes.
Baltimore's been playing pretty solid in coverage, in this man coverage. They're running with the receivers pretty well. Denver really is having to make, they're having to earn every reception that they've made. And Baltimore just clamped down there to close that drive out.
That deflection leads to this 4th down. The punting unit takes the field, led by Matty Wiseman. Punt is on its way, and on the return is Bolt, who can't break out of the tackle, down to the 20-yard line, and we go back to SFL headquarters. Charleston with a huge lead. Is another update from Charleston's offense incoming?
That it is, Tyler. Mike, Carolina's playoff hopes are dwindling.
Yeah, Cam, this is typically a dogfight in the Battle of the Carolinas, but not today. Keith Swearingen with his 2nd touchdown run of the day, right up the middle, 21-0. The Predators are dominating right now, Cam.
See if Denver can get a stop. Back to Tyler and Steven's ball.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike. T-Roy hit hard at the 28-yard line. Pick of 8 from the fullback.
Yeah, but I think he understands the fruits of the labor there. 8 yards on 1st down, and yeah, you had to take a shot, but T-Roy understands the kind of contribution that gives his team now at the 2nd and 2. Plenty of opportunities to pick up a 1st down and keep this drive going.
Right around 135 yards combined for both backs, T-Roy and Murray. Pass near side, caught by Murray. He's out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, so you had the little dud play there, but thanks to the great effort from T-Roy on 1st down, you're still in a very manageable 3rd down situation here. Denver, I think, might do them some favors if they bring some pressure on Wigmore, try to get him off of this hot streak that he's on throwing the ball through.
28-yard line. Wigmore looks to throw deep downfield. It is caught at Denver's 49-yard line, and it is once again Daly Holder on the reception.
How do you bring pressure on that? I mean, he didn't even have the ball 2 seconds, and he got it, 13, 14 yards down the field just like that. I mean, Nick Kindler there in coverage all over the receiver, but, just another great throw by Wigmore.
It's those quick feet you have to have when running routes that allowed Holder to cut underneath Nick Kindler and snag that football. Great route running there from Holder, and the drive continues here for the Vultures. Wigmore over the middle, and that's his first incompletion of the ball game. He tried to go back to Daly Holder, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, and strong safety Josh Vasquez got over there, delivered a hit right in time, and finally an incompletion on the ball game for Wigmore. And Denver maybe building up a little confidence off that. Hey, we got one, now let's make it 2.
Well, the streak ends at 20 consecutive passes for Wigmore as he tries to begin another one. Step drop. Far side, and there was a big, gaping hole in the zone for Wigmore to find Irvin.
Yeah, and Irvin has been really patient this entire game. Hasn't got a lot of love up to this point. Just doing his work, running his route. Good separation there, and the corner had to come down late, but Irvin was able to get the first down before.
Only his second reception in the ball game, and Eddie Gage in the stats truck might correct me if I'm wrong, but that looked to be like a cover 3 hard zone look where it allowed Irvin to sneak behind those linebackers. Offside call incoming on that far side as Murray goes nowhere, and Marlon Marshall will get hit with the infraction-free 5 yards upcoming here for Baltimore's offense.
Neutral zone infraction, number 56.
And maybe, again, some of that trying to get the disruption, trying to get the timing right on Wigmore to generate that pressure to try to get this offensive connection off of their timing. I mean, they're just everything about Baltimore's offense right now is in sync, and I think that Denver is just trying to do their best to get the upper hand to throw them off.
-1 incompletion, though, right? So nearly perfect here. For
Almost.
Well, it's 1st and 5 now here for the Vultures. 3 wide receivers. Wigmore looks to throw. He's over the middle, down to the 5. It is incomplete. Chima had it, and the hit jarred the ball free as Jose Fuentes, the second man when it comes into tackles for the team with 72, was in on the play, but the hit there was laid on by Josh Vasquez.
Yeah, and Vasquez was right in perfect position. It looked like Denver had scouted that out pretty nicely as the flow of the offensive play went right into where the defense was sliding into, and Vasquez able to make a nice hit on the receiver.
2nd and 5 now. More. Near side, it is hauled in by LGJ, Lloyd Graham Jr., first down for Vultures.
Yeah, and it just seems like Denver can't quite get the timing right on these Baltimore game plans. Looked like they were trying to protect the middle of the field there, and Baltimore runs an out route with Lloyd Graham Jr., and there's nobody in the area, and it's an easy first down for the Vulture.
Goal line set as Baltimore enter the red zone. And off, Murray going nowhere as Wiseman is there to beat him. No gain on the play. They put in everybody in the box, and that time it works for Denver.
Yeah, I got it right that time. Keyed off and stacked everybody inside the box, and then Adam Wiseman gets through the mud and makes a nice play there on Warren Murray.
Another heavy set here on offense as the free safety encroaches down. That's Isaiah King, the third there on the far side of your picture as it's T-Roy Gaines getting the call. Gets 5 yards before he's stopped from their Denver 13. It's 3rd down.
Denver, a really good opportunity to get a stop on Baltimore here. This 3rd and 5, if Baltimore tries to run the out routes, it may come up just short enough to push Baltimore out of bounds. We'll see if Denver will protect the middle of the field or not.
Vultures come out in I formation, 2 wide receivers off to Wigmore's right. It's a passing play, looking near side to the out route, and it works to perfection. They keep hitting their targets. It's Mac Chima with another reception. That's Mac Chima's 9th of the day, and it results in yet another Baltimore first down.
And smart, good awareness by the receiver to recognize that he needed to get just past the first down marker. Did just that and keeps this drive alive.
Brand new set of downs from the 7-yard line. First and goal here for Baltimore as they come out in a heavy single back set. It's a screenplay for Murray. He does well enough to get back to the line of scrimmage as Kindler comes down and makes the tackle.
Yeah, Denver needs another no gain here. That was a great way to start off on first and goal, keeping them at the 7-yard line. And good job by the defensive backs there, swarming to the ball to stop it basically at the line of scrimmage.
This drive started at the 8-minute 50 mark, and they're already past 4 minutes on the drive. Wigmore looks to throw, out route caught near the 2-yard line, and down. He'll be ruled as Ivory Irvin, third reception of the game, and it's third down.
Okay, now Denver needs to protect the flats. I don't know that they're going to run the ball. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to get T-Roy Gaines involved here on the run game, but I would be protecting the flats, trying to keep them from throwing the out route. Or a swing pass even.
Drive closing in on 5 minutes all told. Wigmore to throw. Had a man open near side. And it's picked up and going the other way. There's no one in front of Nick Kindler. And he has an entourage. There's one man who can beat him on the far side. And he's blocked. Nick Kindler, 100-yard pick six. And Denver announced their presence in enemy territory.
My goodness, great defensive play call. Denver had been struggling to get the right play call that whole drive, and when it mattered the most, they dialed up the flat coverage. Nick Kindler steals it away, 100-plus yard interception return. What a pick six for the Nightwing.
The momentum swing has gone from 0 to 100 real quick. If I had a certain meter that the Northrops use, the Rick meter, oh man, what would the Rick meter be thinking now? But it is a big statement. And Denver, oh, the defense came up clean. They were -2 in the take give coming into today, and that might just be the difference. The first turnover of the ball game is a pick six for Nick Kindler. Snap spot, and the kick is up and good from Matt Fennick, and it's an 11-point ball game. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back after a few messages. You're watching the SFL on Next Level Sports. Just under 4 minutes to go here in Baltimore, Maryland. Denver have scored 14 straight points, and the last touchdown coming out of a Nick Kindler pick six as Giovanni Bolt brings it back up to the 24-yard line. Tyler Falk, Stephen Hacker here in the booth, Justin Reside, and Eddie Gage in the stats truck, and Commissioner Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ, pushing all the buttons, making us look good, and the boys in the stats truck making us feel smarter than they actually are. Hacker, this has been a great ball game as Denver makes a game of it.
Absolutely, keeping that puncher's chance alive is I very much expected Denver to do here in this ball game.
Goal line sad. That is 10 men in the box for Denver, and Warren Murray has a big old hole to run through, and he springs free past the 50, down to the 40. Can they catch him? They
Wow.
Warren Murray, that's his 5th touchdown of the ball game, 4th on the ground.
Tyler, you know, after that Nick Kindler pick six, that drive that Baltimore was on before that was a 14-play, 78-yard drive. I was going to question whether or not Baltimore had much left in the tanks, but Warren Murray put that to rest. A huge play for the Vultures, and they just respond right back. I mean, Baltimore is on it right now. Warren Murray, the key factor in this Baltimore Vultures offense in this game plan, and he is delivering for them.
76 yards to the barn for Warren Murray, and like you said, any doubt that we had in our mind that Baltimore might be letting Denver back in this game, that can be well and truly thrown out the window as it's Shark Tarkington on to tack home the extra point.
What's interesting here, Tyler, is I don't necessarily think Denver has to panic. I think that they can use up the remaining 3.5 minutes in this third quarter, and as long as that leads to some points, they have the entire fourth quarter to stay in this ball game. They just, again, they have to find ways to be opportunistic, whether that's through special teams, generating turnovers. They have to find ways to have Baltimore make some mistakes and claw their way back in this game.
With that last touchdown, the over-under provided by Jack's data is busted. The score line officially hits 66 points, and everyone who bet the over will be grinning a sigh as Quintero gets the return up the 25-yard line, and now they need to be a little bit explosive and maybe make a big play themselves.
Really use it. Eric Price, you know, up to this point, 12 for 18, playing pretty nice. You know, not taking a whole lot of shots. That's a 7.7 yards per attempt, but QBR 108.3, playing pretty clean against this tough Baltimore defense.
Handoff for O'Shaughnessy near side. O'Shaughnessy spins out of a tackle, and he has a big lane down the sideline. It's a big old scamper down to the 45, a pickup a 20.
Gio Bolt was coming to lay the hammer, dove, was looking to spear Bailey O, but a heck of a spin move frees Bailey O up in a big play. Look at this. Great angle, but yep, made Bolt miss. What a spin move by Bailey O. Finally wins one as Gio Bolt's been winning that matchup all game long.
He was reminded of a big old hit that Bolt let on him earlier here in the quarter, and he gives a little bit back to Gio as now we approach under 3 minutes to go here in the third frame of action. Price looks to throw over the middle for Quintero, and Quintero somehow came away with it and picks up a first down.
These receivers for Denver continuing to make the toughest grabs possible. I mean, they've got defenders all over them when they're making these grabs, but, you know, not a drop from this receiver corp yet.
Oh, he just took that ball away. That was dangerously close from being picked up by Elijah Warfield, and Quintero finds a way to come down with it and pick up the first. Take a quicker look at Price's numbers through today. Pretty nice day all told, though he's going up against one of the best defenses in the league. It's another pass over the middle, caught by Bryce Battle this time around. It's 3 plays, 3 first downs as Denver is moving down with a sense of purpose.
Yeah, and again, you know, when Price really locks in, he's done this on a couple of drives. When he locks in, Denver looks really competitive in this ballgame.
Wide receivers. Quarterback's light on the line of scrimmage. Price trying to step out of it and find a receiver to the far sideline. It is caught. Gain it about 3 yards. there to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions, plus articles from our content team, power rankings, what we learned, the read option, and Talent Factory's feature series. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. Eric Price back to pass again. It's a swing pass to O'Shaughnessy, far sideline. This time he can't get back to the line of scrimmage as he's knocked out of bounds by Alvin Mack. Third down.
And a very tough 3rd and 8 now that Denver is facing. But, you know, again, Price has shown that he's able to make these throws into tight windows in the middle. And these receivers up to this point have stepped up to the task. So I think that it's well within reach that they continue this drive here, Tyler.
3rd and medium upcoming here for Denver. Shotgun set for Price. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, into coverage. It's batted up and picked off at the 22-yard line. And there is the mistake that the offense could not afford. Eric Price will find eventually Marvin Himes, who tipped it up himself and brought it down.
Yeah, and these defenders from Baltimore have been all over the Denver wide receivers, and you know, finally able to get his head around and get a hand up, tip that one up, and very fortuitous tip as Baltimore, they have some ball hawking safeties that'll take it away, and stole one away from Denver there.
And up for Murray. Last time he had the run, he busted one wide open for a 76-yard touchdown. This time, he only picks up 9. He continues to be dangerous, and Murray coming off a retirement here mid-season here, Hacker. He's back.
Oh, yeah, and just was waiting to get his name called. You know, it has kept his body in shape, and when an opportunity presented itself with the team like Baltimore and a talent like Warren Murray, it was just it's a scary thought, Tyler, and he just has fit right in these couple of weeks that he's been here.
Call again on 2nd down. It's a crunching hit laid on him at the 36-yard line, but not before he picks up the first.
And 3rd down efficiency, Tyler, looks like, you know, Baltimore pretty much perfect on 3rd down up to this point, able to move the chains at will whenever they're needed, and you know, just kind of picking apart the Denver defense. They've looked really crisp on offense, just minimal mistake.
Deep drop here from Wigmore, looking far side. It is caught by Irvin. Pick up a 3 with 15 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and the clock stops, so they're going to have to run at least one more play to get us into the 4th, and you know, I think that I think the recipe is true. I think they're kind of in a 50-50 balance here. I would expect to see maybe a T-Roy Gaines carry, you know, right up the middle, try to let the clock run and get into the 4th quarter.
Will let the clock run after he got out of bounds. So this is the last play. They do find a snap, pass far deep down the middle, and it is hauled in at the 25-yard line. Irvin on the reception. Having limited amount of receptions in the first half, he's been quite busy here in the second half. It's a big gain to end out the 3rd quarter.
Very sneaky from the Baltimore coaching staff, Tyler. They waited right there to the end of the quarter, thought maybe, oh, we're going to catch them sleeping here, and what do you know? They did, in a big play for Ivory Irving, get into the 4th quarter.
Get your 4s and 86s up in the stands, folks. The 4th quarter from Baltimore will be right back on the other side of this break. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Final quarter of regulation coming to you from Sports Gamers Online Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Tyler Falk, Stephen Hacker. Glad you could join us this afternoon as Warren Murray first call from scrimmage here on to start the fourth quarter. And we got an update from the Carolina rivalry. Cam, what you got for us?
Thanks, Tyler. Charleston's defense now stepping up in the second half.
Yeah, Cam, the dominant day in Raleigh continues for the Predators. As you see right here, Robert Cherry with a big sack and a safety. Charleston's up big, 26-3.
Back to Tyler and Steven in Baltimore.
Thank you, Cam. Offside penalty coming up on Denver as Wigmore is going to find his tight end, Lloyd Graham Jr., and that'll be a reception down to about the 11-yard line. They'll decline the penalty. It'll be first down for Baltimore.
Yeah, and a free play for Wigmore as he knew that he had the time and took a shot, threw it into a tight window. But yeah, it makes sense. Vulture's going to decline this one, move the chains. And, again, I feel like this is the best opportunity for Denver. I feel like, between the 20s, Tyler, Baltimore has been moving at will. And I think that now that they're inside the red zone, that it's a tougher task to score offensively. And the Denver defense, this is the prime time that they want to try to take the ball away from Baltimore. They just have to get in the right defensive set.
Especially how they picked off Wigmore in the red zone last time around. As he passed to Irvin near side. Good down to the 4-yard line. It'll be second and short here for the Vultures.
They're going to need a big stop. They have to get them in a situation where they know that Baltimore is going to throw. They can't let them get too close to the goal line. So on the second two, they really need to I would flood the middle. Don't let them get a handoff off. And it looks like that they're doing that here, Tyler.
On the goal line set. They will hand off through the middle for Warren Murray. His fifth rushing touchdown, 6 total TDs on the day. Warren Murray, welcome back to the league.
And a huge day offensively for this running back for the Vultures, as you said, Tyler. But you got to love the chess match. Both teams knew what was coming, and it's just line up man to man. And the Vultures win there in the trenches and gives Warren Murray another touchdown.
What an incredible day for this halfback as Baltimore has completely taken command here early on this fourth quarter, as now they look to go up by 25 with this extra point from Tarkington.
I'm going to try to find what's the most touchdowns by an individual player in a game. I think Warren Murray might be getting really close to that.
He probably is getting real close. SFL historians might be able to help us out here, as we've been thoroughly impressed, and we want to remind you about another impressing partner of the SFL. It's APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Riley Quintero on the return gets the 24-yard line. Denver is in a hole here, Hacker, and after the reception the last drive out, they're going to need to play perfect if they want to make a comeback.
Yeah, not only perfect, but they're going to have to put up points in bunches really quickly, Tyler, as the lead has gotten away from them. But still 9.5 minutes in this one, they can do it. They just have to strike quickly.
Rice back to throw, crossing right over the middle is caught and good enough for a first down. The man defense that Baltimore has shown here today has worked out pretty well. That time it let Bryce Battle run free.
These Denver receivers really have stepped up to the task here today, Tyler. I don't think you can put a whole lot of blame on them, as they've done a great job making tough catches all game long, really stepping up big for Eric Price.
Brand new set it down, second play of the drive. Quick pass to O'Shaughnessy near side. He breaks out of a tackle by Frank Smith and then does step out of bounds after picking up 6.
And I think O'Shaughnessy is probably the most explosive player on your team. I think that he should be getting the ball, often and in a variety of ways to try to keep the Baltimore defense honest. But I think Bailey O is going to give you the biggest splash play potential.
Got in flexed off to the left of the line with 2 wide receivers splitting the formation. The handoff far side for O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy has a couple of blockers and is able to pick up the first down to the 46-yard line before he's taken down by Elijah Warfield.
And I actually like that set. I'd like to see a little more urgency out of Denver here. Maybe stay in the no huddle there, but they're going to jump back in, get into a new set, it looks like. And I think Denver can really string something together if they keep doing what they're doing.
It's a solid drive. It's already taken off a little over a minute, close to a minute and a half now on the game clock, which might not be the recipe for success when you need points in a hurry. As O'Shaughnessy gets the call on the ground, able to break out a tackle, finding his way for extra yardage and picking up 7.
Yeah, the effort is definitely there, just not the urgency right now. Again, not using the clock as a weapon. They're kind of falling behind it, I feel like. And again, the production is there. They're moving their way down the field, but they got to factor in the time into this fact that they're down.
8 men on the line, 4 corners, 4 defensive linemen. Price in trouble, is able to fire this one directly to his target, Quintero, and he picks up another first down. So now the passing game comes alive.
And Quintero's still doing a really good job. All these receivers basically perfect on the day. And Bryce Battle is the lowest yards per reception, only averaging 9.3. But Quintero, 12.5, Logan Keel, 19.5, and Jeremy Mosley with 12. So all these receivers are able to move the chains if they can give Eric Price the time.
Back to throw again. Ari Mills gets the reception and the fullback with some legs as he turns upfield and gets the 22-yard line in. Another first down for these Nightwings.
Yeah, Ari Mills, one of the better pass-catching fullbacks in the league, and Denver uses his talents very well. And there picks up a first down again, gave Eric Price the time, and he went through his progressions and found the fullback out in the flats, and he pays off and gets him a first down.
Just outside the red zone from the 22-yard line, the Nightwings come back to the line. 9 men in the box here for Baltimore as Denver show a heavy set. Price looks to throw, pressure coming, looking near side, and Mills dropped it. Oh, it could have had a couple of yards. The pass was perfect there, Hacker. Maybe just not the execution on the receiving end.
Yeah, that one was a tough one. I think that the presence of the defender jumping in, making that attempted play on the ball threw Ari Mills off. Maybe took his eyes off the ball for a split second, and that created enough of a distraction to lead to a dropped pass. And again, Baltimore doing really good in these press man situations, matching up with the Denver Nightwing.
And O'Shaughnessy nowhere to go as it's Devin King who comes up or has a couple tackles today.
Yeah, and really Devin King is more of an edge nightmare for a linebacker. I mean, he's one of those guys, has a lot of speed, can get upfield as a pass rusher, but also really good in run coverage, and makes a nice play. Has had a quiet game here today, but made a nice play there.
3rd and long here for Denver. Price to throw. Stands in the pocket, is just going to chuck it to his halfback, O'Shaughnessy, who breaks out of a tackle. Ever a pass that started off behind the line, picks up the 13 yards needed and more.
And you just get to see it, Tyler. The explosiveness of Bailey O'Shaughnessy out of the backfield is one of the premier backs in the league in terms of explosiveness. And there, it looked like an easy play for the Vultures, and he just breaks free and gets a first down out of it. The second effort from the running back was top tier.
After the excellent open field running from O'Shaughnessy on that swing pass, they find themselves in the red zone from the 11-yard line with just about 6 minutes to go. O'Shaughnessy on the give, left side, trying to find room, and he looks a little bit gassed as his explosiveness was a little bit hampered probably by the last play.
Yeah, you can only be explosive so many times in a row, and you can't. Every play can't go for 20. Sometimes you have to. The averages come crashing down, but I expect them to keep feeding Bailey O. Where they.
High coverage again here for Baltimore, something we've seen all game long. Pass over the middle, cut to the goal line, and in! Touchdown, Bryce Battle! And the Nightwings are back on the board, still down by a bunch, but every comeback has to start somewhere.
Yeah, and still has the time on the clock. They need a huge, they could really use a special teams play. They could benefit from maybe an onside kick later or a fumble like they had against themselves earlier, but they really need to generate some kind of turnover here. But Denver continuing to stay in this game. They're clawing their way in. And that's a tough task here on the road in Baltimore, Tyler.
11 plays, 76 yards, all culminating with that passing touchdown to Battle. Matt Fedek on to try and tack home the extra point to make it an 18-point ball game. Snap spot kick is up, and it is good, and it's 49-31. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues Saturday, March 26th. First, a playoff rematch between London and Arizona, followed by a rivalry in the Pacific between Vancouver and LA. Bonus coverage includes San Diego and Houston, and Tulsa versus Florida. Coverage starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. Giovanni Bolt from his own end zone now on the return, and he's going to be stopped at the 21-yard line. So not a fumble, but this is the worst field position to start off a drive that Baltimore has had here.
Yeah, and I think Denver is just kind of hanging on right now, trying to figure out a way how to slow this Vultures offense down, and it's a tough task. I mean, no team has really done it effectively all season long, but here in a big situation, Denver has to figure it out, and they still have time to come away with the win here, Tyler.
Baltimore still coming out aggressive. The shotgun set here for Wigmore. Denver sent 4 as a pass over the middle, hauled in, first down to the 38-yard line, and they continue to move the chains. It's Matt Shima with yet another reception.
Yeah, and what I was watching there was the pressure coming in late, as Wigmore probably felt the most pressure he's felt all game on that play right there, and still had plenty of time to assess the defense and make a nice throw right to his receiver, Mac Chima.
Mac Chima on the ball game today. That's his 10th reception. He's caught every single pass thrown his way, over 150 yards all told. Here today versus Denver, he has been the focal point of the passing attack. And through the middle goes the fullback, T. Roy Gaines. He picks up 4 yards. We'll touch on a little bit more of Wigmore. He did have one incompletion early on. Now has a couple more. 30 of 33 here, Hacker. You just can't do anything better against a quarterback that's able to find his receivers with authority and intention.
Yeah, he just gets rid of the ball quickly, too, it seems. Not a lot of 50 routes, it seems like, in Baltimore's playbook. So Wigmore just gets rid of the ball quickly, but he always makes the right decision. Very efficient. It's tough to deal with.
Murray gets the call through the middle, picks up a couple more yards as he's brought down. And it's 3rd down. Denver need to stop here.
This would be a huge stop, a huge opportunity for Denver to get the ball back. I mean, if they can force Baltimore to even punt, they could get reasonable field position to try to make a push late in this ballgame.
8 in the box for Denver. Crucial 3rd down for that defense. I formation for Baltimore. Wigmore is just going to let the clock run to about 10 seconds. Hand off Murray, and down goes Murray in the backfield. Hugo Reynosa with the critical stop behind the line, and the punting unit takes the field for the first time in the ballgame for Baltimore.
Yes, a huge opportunity now as Denver finally gets the stop they so desperately needed, but they need some more fireworks. The job's not done. They just got started, and they just got the first checkbox marked off, and they need to figure out a way to use this. They're going to have about 3 minutes, Tyler, so they need to figure out a way to use this 3 minutes very effectively and really just take the foot off the brakes and fully stomp down on the gas. They need points in a hurry.
Sam Shepard is the punter for Baltimore. He gets rarely called upon, but does a good job there as Quintero on the return cannot escape the pressure. He's down at the 20-yard line, and so Denver have 80 yards to go to hit pay dirt and continue their climb back into this one.
And I want to say go with Bailey O, but I think you need to stretch the field a little more than that to start. And you need to start taking your shots early and often. I don't know if going on the ground with Bailey O is going to be the right way to start this drive. We'll see what they do.
Just under 3 minutes, down by 18. Denver need to make something happen. Play action. Pass over the middle, caught by Battle. He is tossed around at the 31-yard line. Denver will go back to the hurry-up.
Great way to start the drive.
Another play action, same play. Again, looking over the middle, deflected, intended for R.E. Mills, the fullback playing out there as a wide receiver, and incomplete, 2nd down.
Yep, risk aversion there. You got the perfect play called. That's a Denver staple that they just executed there, and didn't work twice in a row. But if anything, the incompletion stop the clock kind of works in their favor and gives them a chance to get out in a different formation. Nope, they're going to come out in the same one, Tyler.
Identical formation, 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Action again, same play, back-to-back-to-back plays, and Mills had it and then flung it forward as he wasn't able to catch that one. That's 2 passes he hasn't been able to haul in, and it's 3rd down.
And exactly, I mean, that was what Denver wanted. That was exactly what they wanted. They had the look that they wanted, and Ari Mills, an untimely drop, and now has had a couple here late in this ball game where had an opportunity to make that play, like you said, Tyler, and hasn't come up. So maybe a little bit of that receiver luck for these Nightwings is running out.
5 wide. Price to throw on 3rd and 10. He's hit the backfield. Down for a loss of 7. And now Denver is in a gaping hole as Walker and company bring him down for the loss.
And Baltimore matching the pace. Denver makes a stop, got the stop that they needed, and Baltimore in turn responds, gets a big stop for themselves, and is going to force Denver into a very unfortunate 4th and 17 here, Tyler.
It's 4th and Mile High to go here from the team from Mile High. Pumps one from Price, under pressure again, down he goes, behind the line, and that should just about do it. Al Walker comes up with yet another sack, and Baltimore take over already in the red zone.
Yeah, and that was a tough play. Price really had to stand there and allow Baltimore to get that pressure on him to let that play develop. And I don't know that it was the best situation for Price to be in. And as you see, it's a turnover on downs, and I want to see if Denver's going to use their timeouts here in the red zone. I don't think that there's any reason to start burning the timeouts, but we'll see if they do.
The backup, Adam Jefferson, who will throw near side to the backup tight end, Tyrone Means, as we approach the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the final frame of action here from Baltimore. You're watching the SFL, presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Final 2 minutes of action here from Baltimore, Maryland, Sports Gamers Online Stadium. I'm Tyler Clark alongside Stephen Hacker. T-Roy Gaines gets the call for the middle. No matter what happens, it's going to be a first down here for Baltimore as they look to just milk away the last 2 minutes of this game clock, Hacker.
Yeah, Baltimore not going to show any urgency really when it comes to getting the snap off. They're gonna try to whittle down this clock as best they can. Denver does have all 3 timeouts. Still very curious to see how they're going to use these with less than 2 minutes to go here in this ball game.
We just want to welcome everybody joining us for the last few minutes of the ball game. Tyler Falk and Stephen Hacker have been on stats. Justin Reside and Eddie Gage over the stats truck, providing us with all those juicy details. Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters is our producer today. Thank you all for everything you've done here today as the backup halfback, Damon Morehouse, gets in to score. That's the 6th rushing touchdown for this rushing core for Baltimore, and it just puts a cherry on top.
Yeah, and really is just a testament to how great the game plan has been. Denver, kept themselves in this game for as long as they possibly could, and just Baltimore with fortuitous field position there at the end. Denver turned the ball over on downs. Baltimore didn't have very far to go, and they just are doing what they need to do to keep their perfect season intact.
Tarkington on now to try and add one more point. Baltimore snap spot. Kick is up. It is good. 56-31 the score line here as we wrap up festivities. There'll be no bonus coverage after our contest today. So after we follow up with you guys and get you guys ready to go for the post-game update provided by APM Music and Cameron Irvine, Mike St. Green. They will get you going for the second half slate of games. Jacksonville, Tulsa, game going on bonus coverage, but of course, the game that most of you will see here on Next Level Sports will be coming up shortly. Riley Quintero on the return. He's going to pick up about 26 yards in the return, but the game you guys will see here on Next Level Sports after that post-game update / pre-game show will be Atlanta and St. Louis. Michael Torillo, Matt Wilson have the call for that one. It's a different Michael, or a different Mike, I should say, Hacker, that gets to call a game.
Yeah, and Michael Torillo is one of my favorite broadcasters too. In taking Mike Daggs' place just for the week, but Michael Torillo will fill in admirably, I'm sure, as he's one of the most professional and best broadcasters we have. Awesome dude.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Had the pleasure of calling a game with him at the convention. We had a whole lot of fun. Convention news coming up more than likely next week. 2 of the locations, Las Vegas and Orlando, on the docket as potential host cities as Denver's drive continues. A pass of 9 on first down. Big pass this time around to the 5th-string wide receiver, Jared Battle. It gets them to midfield or just outside midfield, and they're back to throw again. Price floater into quadruple coverage, and it eventually falls out of the popcorn machine. That was that tip drill, and it falls incomplete.
And Eric Price has really played a good game. The score is really taken away from the fact that Denver has played a pretty competitive ball game. It's just, again, I think it just speaks to how well Baltimore prepares each and every week. They've got a really good game plan. They're a tough team to beat, but I think Bailey O had a great game for Denver. Eric Price has had a great game for Denver. I think that they just had some opportunities to get away from them, and Baltimore won the explosive play battle, and it's again a testament to Baltimore. But I think it shouldn't take away from the fact that Eric Price is having a heck of a ball game against probably the best defense in the SFL as well. And so wanted to give him a huge shout out because I noticed how well he's played here in the ball game.
Logan Keel led a little bit outside the line sideline, so that last pass was incomplete. 3rd and 10 now here for the Nightwings from the 49-yard line. Price looks again toward the near sideline. This time Keel keeps both feet in bounds, and what a nice reception as the Denver Nightwings try and get something positive out of this last drive.
Yeah, that was a great throw. Again, two defenders kind of over in the area, and Price threw it right where it needed to be, where the receiver could make a play only. And Logan Keel is an expert on the sidelines, knows exactly what to do, great foot awareness, and able to make the reception there on the sideline.
And some production notes. Torillo, unfortunately, was unable to make the call, and so we get yet another fantastic commentator. Tim Hackett is taking over for Torillo for the game between Atlanta and St. Louis. Still
another awesome.
can't agree more than 100%. If I can agree, but probably about 200% on Tackett, I probably would. Battle gets the reception, 9.5 yards game.
And I feel like you could say, oh, we're going to slate in any other broadcaster. And I'd be like, oh, man, that's another awesome dude. I really love working with all our broadcasters. I think Mike and Chris have assembled a really great team. And, Tyler, you're in addition to that. And you guys, I mean, like I said, I think everybody that we have in here is really awesome, dude. Really great group.
Pass over the middle. Again, another popcorn machine. And again, no one can find a popcorn bucket to haul that one in as Battle had the reception earlier. They ran the same play looking for him, but no dice that time around. Second and goal from the 5.
Denver definitely looking for something, looking to get something here late in this ball game, some pride points or padding the stats, whatever you want to call it. But I think Denver doing the right thing. They need to try to get into the end zone as quickly as they can.
Flip backs on either side of Eric Price in the gun. Baltimore send the blitz pass near side. Logan Keel, touchdown Denver, and the scoreline looks a lot closer than it was as Keel hauls it in. It's back to within a 19-point ball game. Nice route running from Keel all day today.
Yeah, and a great way to beat that man is keep those the running back and the fullback in on a delayed route, and it sends those linebackers on a blitz. And with the way Eric Price has been playing, he's been able to digest that kind of stuff, and it opened up a big, huge zone there on the right sideline for him to throw into. So Eric Price, again, balling out of control here in this ball game, doing his best to keep Denver in this matchup.
Map spot. Matt Fennick will add one more point to Denver's total, 56-38. Denver going to probably continue this momentum, try and do an onside kick, trying to maybe add some more points to the scoreline.
And this would be a huge play for Denver if they could somehow get an onside kick here. I think that would be a huge momentum shift. Maybe not enough to keep them in the game, but again to kind of close that margin. But it's unfortunately not able to get it, Tyler.
Marvin Himes hauls that one in. That's going to do it with just over 30 seconds to go. Baltimore will take home victory number 8 here in the season. The unbeaten champs from a season ago just continue their rise and potential return to that championship game. As the question has to be asked here, it's not when will Denver lose, but will they lose? Will they have a crooked number in that last column, Hackers?
I'm sorry, I was going to look at research. I was going to look at how the West Division was shaping up record-wise, and it sounds like that's what you were kind of alluding to. I'm sorry.
Well, more so Baltimore over here in the North Division. They're running away with it.
The North is really Baltimore's to lose, Tyler. I was looking at the West because Denver losing here shifts them to 4-5. Sioux Falls is 4-4 pending their game this week. Las Vegas is 3-4 pending their game this week. Arizona is 3-4 pending a game this week. So the West Division is up for grabs, and I think that a win against Baltimore would have done huge things for them in terms of how in control of their playoff destiny they were. But a loss here, I think, still keeps them in the mix. Tyler, they just they're still in control of their destiny. If they can just win some more ball games, there's still plenty of time. But nothing to worry about as far as the West Division. The North Division, Baltimore firmly in control, and not even just the North Division, just the SFL as a whole. Baltimore in control. It's their title to beat, if you ask, or it's their title to lose, if you ask me. They look that good right now. They haven't played them earlier in the season. They're really, really good right now. Somebody's going to have to put together a really, really good game plan, Tyler, to compete with them. We have some teams that can do it, Tyler. We do, but Baltimore they're doing it week in and week out.
You have to stop them all 3 phases of the game, not just offense and defense, but special teams, because we know how dangerous Giovanni Bolt can be on the return. He's made a couple of touchdowns in his career as the punt. Well, just like that, you can't let them punt go any further than that. What a punt from Sam Shepard. Only a second time punting today, but pins Denver deep in their own territory. When you have solid players on all 3 sides of the ball, they're Hacker. It becomes a nightmare to game plan against.
Yeah, one little mistake and they capitalize on it. It's just like, Denver had that swing where they got the big stop that they needed. and then Baltimore responds. And that's the kind of stuff that you have to expect with Baltimore. Some other teams, you can get away with some stuff. You can maybe be sloppy at times and still come out on top. But Denver is a team you really, your game plan needs to be on point, and or they're going to take advantage of it.
Heel hauls in about a 20-yard pass play from Eric Price as he snaps the ball, and that was some fancy footwork that Price showed in his own end zone to try and make something happen, extend the play, get out of the pressure as the pocket collapsed in around him.
I think we're going to get a look at maybe Eric Price arm strength here, Tyler. Maybe a deep play down the field. Oh, no, maybe we're set up for some kind of play action.
Let's see what happens. This will be the final play of the ball game. Price to throw. It's going to be a swing pass for O'Shaughnessy, who turns up field and is tackled at the 34-yard line, and that is your ball game. 56-38, the defending champion Vultures take home victory number 8 here in season 18. Hacker, it was Warren Murray. It was the Warren Murray show. 6 total touchdowns today for that halfback coming out of retirement. What a day.
Yes, 6 touchdowns, 22 touches. So, I mean, like a touchdown every 4th touch, that's an extreme efficiency. It's exactly, that fits exactly into the mold of what you think when you think about Baltimore. We're going to do everything. We're going to do it crisp. It's going to be well executed, and it's going to be done on point at the right time. And Warren Murray has come in replacing Jimmy Hazard, like I said, fit right into this team, much in like their quarterback Jack Wigmore has done. Kind of stepped in with big shoes to fill, so to speak, but took right over and hasn't missed a beat. And as a matter of fact, Baltimore appears to be better with Warren Murray on their team. So again, the remainder of the slate, these teams that have to face Baltimore, it's a tough task. And I think, again, they're a favorite for a reason. But, we do have some exciting teams in the SFL with that can give them a challenge. Like I said earlier in the game, Queen City gave Baltimore a scare, if you ask me. There was times in this game that Baltimore had that Denver had Baltimore on their heels, and so they're not impervious. They are just very difficult. And so it's a tough challenge for every team every week, but Baltimore, again, doing what they do best, going out and executing on the small things and getting big results from it.
And add on to that, Hacker, Sioux Falls played a really good game against Baltimore last week, another team that can play strongly against this team. And it was a game to remember for Baltimore, a statement win, if any there was one, especially from Warren Murray. He's my pick for player of the game. Hacker, agree or disagree? Hack.
It's the 6 touchdown performance easily goes to Warren Murray. But, again, I want to give a huge shout out. I thought quarterback Eric Price for Denver, number 8, played a heck of a ball game against this very, very tough Baltimore defense. Played about as well as you can play as a quarterback against them.
So we'll get a look through the pundits have picked for player of the game here in just a moment. Player of the game here from Sports Gamers Online Stadium, of course, is Warren Murray. 5 touchdowns on the ground, 184 yards, 1 reception touchdown, and 11 receiving yards, all on that 1 touchdown catch. For Stephen Hacker, Justin Reside, Eddie Gage, and the Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I've been Tyler Falk. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back after this commercial break with the post-game update from SFL Studios. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night here from Baltimore.
Welcome back to SFL Studios, Sim Football Postgame here with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. Couple of blowouts in the early window. Let's start with Baltimore, Mike. They are 8-0. They are looking furious out there. And, it was just more of the same in the second half that we saw earlier in the game.
Yeah, Cam, the Vultures, they just continue to, put me in awe. They continue to amaze me week in and week out with what they are able and capable of doing on the field. They've added Warren Murray, as we mentioned just a week ago. He had a touchdown and 87 yards last week and, kind of subtly worked his way into the offense. And, man, he just exploded today. Six total touchdowns, five on the ground. One receiving, 184 yards on the ground to go along with that, and and if it you wouldn't think it's possible, but I think Warren Murray's actually made this team better, and that should be scary for the rest of the league.
It kind of reminds me when there's a team that's chasing a championship and you get a bunch of veteran players who just want to go there. They just gravitate there. And for those that don't understand at home, Baltimore's doing this without a controller in their hands. This is not your typical esports game. They have to submit their game plans in advance. They don't have any control over what gets called at any point during the game, and yet they are still able to dominate their opponents like this. It's just it's super impressive. Denver has the #1 strength of victory in the league right now, Mike. So even at 4-5, they're still in good shape. In a challenging West Division that's totally up for grabs. Charleston beats Carolina 32-10, and that was a rout from the start. In that game, we saw a blocked extra point, a blocked field goal, a blocked punt, a fumbled punt return, and one more. Mike, I'm forgetting one.
We had a safety.
Safety,
we had
everything in that game.
Yeah, this game had a little bit of everything, and then not to sound cliche, but as the sometimes that you hear 32-10 from Charleston, but the game was truly not even that close as the aforementioned blocks and block kicks and fumbles and missed field goals and things of that sort. This game could have been a whole lot more lopsided in the favor of Charleston. Complete domination of Carolina today, and man, Carolina, they have really had me scratching my head the past couple of weeks. They have not looked well at all after really kind of starting the season off looking pretty solid. Just hadn't gotten over the hump, but man, the last 3-4 weeks they've really been struggling.
Carolina in free fall at 2-7. Charleston gets to 5-4. So going over the second game of our doubleheader. Mike, I know that St. Louis is down. They've really had a lot of bad news this week in terms of their personnel. But St. Louis has not, or Atlanta rather, has not won in St. Louis since 2017, all the way back in Season 9. As they try to keep up in the East, St. Louis hoping to play spoiler, Jacksonville and Tulsa in bonus. What do you think about this second block?
Yeah, Cam, it's been a while since Atlanta has won in the Gateway City, and actually St. Louis beat the Swarm a few weeks ago and kind of started the Swarm on this kind of up and down type part of the season. It prompted them to change up the offensive coordinator last week, and it seemed to have worked. They had a great performance in the victory last week over Jacksonville, scoring 31 points. The offense looked real solid, but and to go back to the matchup with these two teams a couple of weeks ago, it was St. Louis that made them kind of struggle on offense, and we'll see if they can put that game plan back into effect this week and affect the Atlanta Swarm that way. But and also huge game for St. Louis, Cam. They've had a lot of bad news, as you mentioned, but loses of 4 in a row. This is a strong division. Louisiana and Tulsa, these guys have been on a hot streak. Louisiana winning 5 in a row, Tulsa winning 3. And in order to keep their playoff hopes alive and a possible outside shot at winning this division, this is a must-win for St. Louis today.
We'll have all your updates throughout the afternoon as kickoff from the Gateway City is coming up. Tim Hackett and company on the call for this upcoming game. It's going to be great. Matt Wilson with a new partner. That's why I couldn't figure out who was calling the game, because it's Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson. That's the team. Tim Hackett admirably filling in for our director of broadcasting today. He needs a break every now and again, Mike. That's it for our first block. We're halfway through. SFL doubleheader rolls on here on the SFL on NXT. We'll be right back.